I never thought breathing could ever do anything. What? You tape your mouth closed when you go to sleep? I've heard a few people mention that before, but that is shocking to a lot of people, right? Everybody wake up. This is really serious stuff. It can affect your child development, your sleep, your health, your everything.
So your nose, your throat, your lungs are all linked. And if there's a problem with one, it can travel up to the other and vice versa. And the thing about the nose is, if you have nasal obstruction, if you have a stuffy nose, you're twice as likely to have a sleep problem. So here as a kid, I was having asthma, I was caught for breath. Because I was having asthma, I had also nasal obstruction because it's very common that the two go hand in hand. And because of that then, I was mouth breathing, and then my sleep is impacted. And of course, I'm breathing fast upper chest. I'm constantly in fight or flight response. Now you send a child into school with that breathing pattern. And that child, in primary school I was bright, I was top of the class. Come secondary school, high school, I dropped from the top of the class right down to the bottom. I was losing interest in school. In 1988, I left school altogether, and people are probably shocked with that. Why is a kid at 14 years of age leaving school? It was my breathing that was holding me back. It wasn't my intelligence. It was my chronic mouth breathing, and I was going to doctors every 3 months. I was in hospital a few times. Not one healthcare professional during that time says, Patrick, breathe through your nose. In early 2000s, probably 1998, 1999, I came across a newspaper article. And the newspaper article spoke about a Russian doctor, and he said two things. He says, breathe through your nose and you breathe light. And as a chronic mouth breather, I was doing none of those things. I was breathing through my mouth, I was often caught for breath, and I had fast, noticeable breathing. Not that you're having an asthma attack all the time or a panic attack, but your breathing is in excess of what it should be. And this is the crux of it. When I switched to nasal breathing, my sleep within 2 to 3 days, I woke up more alert than I had in the previous 10 to 15 years. That's not an exaggeration.
10 to 15 years?
Yes.
Just from better sleep?
Just from better sleep. And this, even though I found it purely by accident, I actually taped up the first night, taped my mouth, and because my nose was so stuffy, I was able to unblock it using breath hold techniques. But I also had to get nasal dilators to open up my nose. So you can imagine the first night, I had a nasal dilator on my nose, I had tape on my mouth to force myself to breathe through my nose, and it took me a couple of days just to get the hang of it. Then I started waking up my alert. My wheezing reduced by about 50% in that week. Now, this was driving me. I wanted to get it out there. So I have
no medications. All you did was force yourself to
change my
breathe.
breathing. I'll come back to it. Mouth breathing. No child who is mouth breathing and no adult who is mouth breathing is reaching their full potential. And many people will say, yes, they have their mouths closed during the day. Do you have your mouth closed during sleep? Do you have your mouth closed during physical exercise? And where is the correct tongue resting posture? Because your tongue has got two places to be. It's either in the roof of the mouth or it's falling back into the throat. If your tongue is falling back into the throat, the airway is compromised. If the airway is compromised, your sleep is compromised. And if your sleep is compromised, your day is compromised.